Спасибо, что пришли. Парашат Ba'alotcha. The Gemara tells us, even though that we call it Chamisha Chumshei Torah, that we have 5 books, Bereshit, Shmot, Vayikra, Bamidbar, Dvarim. Says the Gemara, but you should know the truth of the matter is that we have 7 books. The book that we are at now, Sefer Bamidbar, really contains 3 books. From the beginning of Sefer Bamidbar until we may say the middle of this week's parasha is 1 book. Then we have 2 sentences. Vayi bin Soa, Aaron ben Moshe, the sentence that we say when we open the Echal, and the sentence that we say when we bring back the Torah to the Echal of Nuchol Yomar, is considered 1 book. And after that, till the end of the book Bamidbar, another book. Says the Gemara, it like to say Chamisha Chumshei Torah, 5 books, true. But you should know, in reality, we have 7. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided with his wisdom that this book that we add, Ba'alotcha, Bamidbar, in this week's parasha, in the middle of the split. The first part of the book until the middle of this week's parasha is 1 book, then 2 psukim consider 1 book, and then after that another book. Says the Gemara, what is behind it? What does that mean exactly? Says the Gemara, HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided to divide it, to put something in between tragedies. And actually, if you look in the Torah, you will see there is a divider among the psukim, between the psukim, is the letter Nun backwards. You look at the Torah, you see, what is that? What is this? In the middle of the Torah, we have a letter Nun. You have a letter Nun before the paragraph starts, the middle one, Vayi bin Soa, and after the second sentence, you have another Nun backwards to separate that so-called paragraph from the rest of the Torah, to tell you this is a serious thing. It's not just saying it. It is. You should know Hashem decided to make a paragraph by itself from 2 sentences that usually we don't have such a thing. Almost never and never. And those 2 psukim are a paragraph that's called the book. Not just a paragraph, it's a book. So says the Gemara, so what is this sentence really? Those 2 sentences is to separate what it says before, what it says after. What does it say before? It says before that after we made the Mishkan and everything was ready, Hashem told Moshe, they're moving to Israel. The cloud picked himself up, and we're going to Israel. So within 3 days, the Anan, the cloud, moved very fast in order to take all of us to Eretz Israel immediately. Says the Gemara, you know, when the cloud picked up itself, and this was a sign that we're moving, says the Gemara, everybody packed up his bags, packed up his belonging, because we were stationed by Har Sinai for a year, and said, let's run from it. Let's run away from here. And I said, what is the rush? Where are you running? I said, listen, the longer we stay here, Moshe would give us more mitzvot. We have enough mitzvot already. כתינוק הבורח מבית הספר. Did you ever go to school? Did you ever see where the bell rings? how all the children run. Where are you running? Running home. What was so bad in school? Why are you running home? What? You had a very good time in school. You know why? Because our great-grandparents used to be on Har Sinai. And after Hashem sent 10 commandments, Moshe used to teach us everyday Torah. And one day HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, finally, we're going to Eretz Israel. So we didn't appreciate we go to Eretz Israel. We appreciated more that we're leaving already. Thank God we're leaving Har Sinai. We're leaving the school. Let's run away from here. Before Moshe will give us more halachot. It was the biggest tragedy. You ran away from Hashem. You ran away from Har Sinai. In Har Sinai you heard HaKadosh Baruch Hu 10 commandments. In Har Sinai you built the Mishkan. You saw fire. You heard Hashem. Actually, you should ask that you want to stay there longer. Instead, you're running away. Why are you running? Because you don't want to learn Torah. Says the Gemara, that's the first tragedy. And therefore, says the Gemara, Kadosh Baruch Hu put the 2 psukim, the paragraph, to tell you, I want to separate what's going to be in a second. What's going to be immediately after? The Torah tells us, Am Yisrael started to complain, how come the cloud is moving so fast? And immediately, says the Torah, says the Gemara, some of the old people, some of the Arab Rab, says the Gemara, they complain, Mi achilenu basar. They want to have meat. זכרנו את הדגה שנאכל במצרים חינם. Remember the fish that we ate in Egypt for free? Says the Gemara, free from what? I must say free from the mitzvot, you know. You have to say bracha. We ate fish. A lot of them non-kosher. As Zohar said, they ate non-kosher fish in Egypt. He said, we remember the fish? It was a pleasure. Now, man. Says the Gemara, they say, you know what? The whole day, man. Come from Shamayim. So, we don't like to have it all the time. Imagine somebody will have lunch every day the same, supper every day the same. I remember they used to say, a person comes to work every day, lunchtime he opened up a sandwich, and he said, oh, again tuna fish. So one of his friends told him, why did you tell your wife that you don't want it? Why every day you say, tuna fish? He said, you know what the problem is? I make my own lunch. Man. Every day, man in the morning, says the Gemara, man in the afternoon, came from Shamayim. Once a day, says we don't want it. We want some piece of meat. Meat? Yeah, we want meat. Not only that, the Gemara said. The Gemara said, the man, whatever you thought, you had the taste of it. But they say, the Gemara says, 5 things you cannot imagine in your head, you did not taste it. Cucumber, onions, garlic, katzir, the things that's not easy to digest for pregnant ladies. So Hashem made it on purpose. You put it in your mouth, the man, and you said, I think pizza? You said, very good pizza. Jerusalem 4. So you thought about meat? Meat. And you thought about garlic? No. You thought about onion? No. No. You thought about cucumber? No. What is the problem? Hashem did not want you to have it. Why? Even though it's man. It's in your head. So for the ladies, it's not so good to digest if the lady is expecting. That's Hashem made it this way. Says the Torah in the text. They say, you would like to have a piece of meat with garlic. We like to have a piece of meat with onion. We like to have a salad with a cucumber. Where is it? Where is it? Go to Moshe and tell Moshe, Moshe, enough is enough. We don't want this man all the time. We need some barbecue. Summertime. We need barbecue. Comes the Torah and says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu says in the Torah, but you know the man is very, very good. And he looks like crystal. So the question is, so what if he looks like crystal? My problem is I want a piece of meat. Hashem, why are you giving me man? Hashem, please, listen. You know me, I'm your son. Your son comes over to you and says, Papa, I don't want every day cereal. Cereal in the morning, cereal in the evening, cereal in the lunch. I want something else. There's nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this. What is the problem? Hashem is upset. Moshe is upset. What is the problem? They have a legitimate complaint. They want to have a piece of meat. They're stuck in the desert. They just came out of Egypt. They didn't go to yeshiva. What do you want from these people? Moshe is upset. And then Moshe Ra. As Moshe said, what is the complaint? What's the complaint? So, not everybody is a rabbi. They would like to have a piece of meat. Nothing's wrong. Hashem is very upset. And the text reads that Hashem tells Moshe, you know what? Go tell them. I'm going to give them it. Moshe said, yeah, you're going to give them? From where are you going to give them? Where are you going to get so much meat to give them, Hashem? They want barbecue. Are you going to get them fish again? Fish? From where? Hashem said, what do you think, I can? Gemara says, well, Moshe, what did you tell Hashem? You think Hashem cannot give it? In the text, it says, Moshe Rabbeinu says, הצאן והבקר ישחט להם עם כל דגי הים יאסף להם. Moshe said, it's impossible, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How are you going to get? What? Moshe. If Hashem brings money, cannot bring this? In the text, among the Chachamim, what did Moshe Rabbeinu really mean? And then Moshe said to Hashem, Hashem, you know what? Do you think that I am their mother? ואנוכי הריתי את כל העם הזה? Was I expecting to have them in my stomach like a pregnant lady? אם אנוכי ילידיתו, am I the father? Hashem, you want to know something? אם ככה אתה עושה לי, מצאתי חן מלאה, הרגני להרוג, kill me. Kill me? Moshe, what happened to you? I don't understand. When they did the golden calf, Moshe prayed by Echal Moshe, Moshe prayed for Hashem. They did a sin, they did Avodah Zarah. Moshe said to Hashem, listen, please forgive them. If not, please kill me. Here Moshe said to Hashem, why are you doing it to me? Am I the mother? Am I the father? Kill me. Let me kill you. That's the way you speak to Hashem. You can't tell Hashem like this. You can't talk like this to a person. And this is talking about Moshe Rabbeinu. You, Moshe Rabbeinu, tell Hashem, kill me. What do you mean, kill me? Now, people have to know the truth. A person cannot run away from the job that he was designated. If you kill yourself, you come back. Recreation, the Goyim believe in it. Maybe you come back as a cockroach, maybe as a mouse, but then you come back to do the job that Hashem wants you to do it. This Moshe tells Hashem, kill me? What is this, a joke? Moshe Rabbeinu, enough. Remember what happened before a few years ago? You told HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you don't want to go to the job, you don't go to the job. She told, stop it, only go to the job. So again, the same episode now. He doesn't want to go. What do you mean? What do you mean, kill you? What does that mean? Then the Torah tells you that Hashem tell Moshe, go tell Am Yisrael, go tell me Hashem. Go tell them. Tell them what? Hashem told Moshe, go tell them that you got disgusted with the Kadosh Baruch Hu that is inside you, that dwells around you. Inside. I discussed it with Hashem. Excuse me. I just want to have a barbecue. I don't say nothing. I want to have a piece of meat. I don't want to have all day, all night, man. I'm sorry, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please. I just came out of Egypt last year, 2 years ago. Please, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, can I have a shpelo a little bit? What's wrong with this? Somebody comes and says, ask from his father something. I said, no, I'm not giving you. You have only cereal. Well, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has mercy on us. What's the whole thing? Why the Torah had to write this? And the Torah will tell you Hashem brought those Slav like little birds, and by the millions of them flew in. Am Yisrael caught them, ate them. While the meat was in between the teeth, they died. Why Hashem made it this way? So what if they want a piece of meat? It was kosher piece of meat. This is worse than do the golden calf. The Torah said that place over there is called Kivot HaTa'ava. There's a lot of people, there's no information how many, but a lot of people died. While they eating, after they ate the piece of meat, they died, choked to them, died. What is really the idea behind it? Comes the Gemara and tells us the secret of our life. You should know. The secret of our life. This is the Gemara, you should know. A person's body, there are 3 parts. His father, his mother, and Hashem. Says the Gemara, let me tell you how the body works. You know, says the Gemara, you know the brain of the person is white. The nails are white. It's white inside the eye. And the bones are white. I says, what's behind it? The liver is red. The heart is red, the lungs is red, the flesh is red. Hashem could have made flesh white. Why Hashem made flesh red? Why Hashem made the bones white? What's behind? Why the brain is white and the heart is red? Why? Hashem did not have enough coloring? What's behind it? Says the Gemara, you should know a secret. The father, he gives his child the bones. From the father's side, whatever the father gives is white. Therefore, the brain is from the father. The bone is from the father. The nails from the father. The color of the white in your eyes from the father. From the mother, all the red things, the hair, for example, is from the mother's side. Because it's black usually, or red, black. Usually a person doesn't get born with white hair. It's from the mother. The blood is from the mother, the flesh is from the mother. The black in the eyes from the mother. So there are 5 things from the father, like 5 fingers. And 5 from the father, 5 from the mother. And 10 things from Hashem. Says the Gemara 10 things, the Gemara says, I'll tell you what it is. It's the Rabina ve'askel, the Sechel. This is this, be able to see with your eyes, the sight. Be able to hear with your ears. Be able to walk with your feet. I said, HaKadosh gives you 10. Say, Chachamim, I want to explain to you. Chachamim said, I want to explain to you something. How it goes. Says the Gemara, I want to tell you how it goes. Says the Zohar, says the Ari, how it goes. This is how it goes, says the Ari. A person in his body has 365 pieces of body. 248 pieces of body, and 365 some veins or something. Altogether 630. 613 pieces, but the person cannot function. So Hashem, He is going to give so-called energy to those 613 pieces to work. That's how it goes. So you can have a very, very nice ears, but you cannot hear. This is because Hashem has to put something inside your ear. Hashem has to put something inside your ear, and that thing penetrates inside your bones, says the Gemara. Shmuat tovatit b'shen says the Gemara, you know, when you hear good news, the bones being bigger, expand. That's the power of the ear. So Hashem penetrated himself inside the person's body. As the Gemara means, there are three partners in the body of the person. His father, he gives all the right things. His mother gives the bad things. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he gives the energy, the fuel inside to function. That's how it goes. So actually a person has to know that his ability to move, his hand, to walk, is because Hashem gives him this energy. How careful you have to be what you do. You don't want to use Hashem's energy against Hashem. You want to walk someplace you're not supposed to walk. So how do you have the energy to walk? It's Hashem. So you drag the Hashem to the places you're not allowed to be there. You want to say Lashon Hara. As said in your tongue, you have a Kadosh Baruch Hu inside. So you can use your mouth, you use the energy of Hashem to do against Hashem. Says Rabbi Moshe Cordovero in the book, Tomer Devorah, the angels calls the Kadosh Baruch Hu Melech Aluv, the king that everybody spits at him. He lets people do it. Can you imagine? You give your son a gun, and the son shoots you with a gun. Hashem gives us energy, and we use energy against Hashem, do sins with that. That's how the body of the person works. And it's even a little bit deeper, but actually, first the Kadosh Baruch Hu starts with the neshama, with the soul. The neshama of the person, says Rabbi Chaim Vital, Ari student, first Hashem makes like a skeleton. 613 pieces of neshamot. And then Hashem dresses the neshamot with the body. It doesn't start with the body. First starts from the neshama. Like you have a suit. The suit is to cover the body. The body is the suit for the neshama. It starts backwards. But you have to know the truth. That neshama that HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts in somebody's body is made from 630 pieces. That's the energy of the person. That's the system. That's the person has to appreciate. Has to appreciate HaKadosh Baruch Hu because he gives him so-called the life and the energy to operate. And I said in Tzfar, the Ari used to walk on the street. People used to come to the Ari, tells him, I don't feel well. So the Ari used to put his hand on the pulse of the person, and he used to tell him, I know what you got. You have an earache. I said, yeah, true. And he said, you know why you have an earache? Because there's one mitzvah per part of the body. You have 630 mitzvot, and you have 630 pieces in the body of the person. And Ari used to tell every person, what hurts you? Your finger? Which finger? Where? Which part of your finger? This is this mitzvah that you're not careful with. Without the person tell Ari, what does he have? He said, I just don't feel well someplace. Just by the blood that runs around via the heart, but the pulse, Ari said, that's what hurts you, and the reason it hurts you because you're not careful about this particular mitzvah. So the mitzvot that we have is not, you don't understand. The more mitzvot you have, more healthy you are. Because it's more Hashem inside you. That's the secret. So listen, that mitzvah I don't keep. It doesn't keep it, man. Part of your body doesn't function. You know why it doesn't function? Because Hashem is not inside there. You know why Hashem is not inside there? Hashem vaporized from that part of your body. You know why? Because you didn't do that mitzvah, or you don't like this mitzvah, or you don't pay attention to that mitzvah, or you don't have the kavanah of that mitzvah. And it says that all of a sudden, I don't feel well. My ear hurts me. I have a sore throat. He said, you know why? Yeah, you went to the doctor. They said, מי שיש לו חולה בתוך ביתו ילך אצל חכם. Says the Gemara, first you go to the Chacham, tell him, listen, I don't feel well. So the Chacham will look at you and says, I think you don't feel well. It's one mitzvah you're not so careful about it. You're not so careful about it. So the power of the mitzvot is to keep Hashem inside our system. And then the system works. So the father and the mother are partners, but they just created the body. A body with no energy is nothing. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with his wisdom, that's what he does. He puts in everybody his energy, and he hopes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that person will not, chas shalom, use the energy from Hashem against Hashem. And the Navi tells us, one of the kings, his name was Yerovam, he did a lot of Avodah Zarah. And one day Hashem said to a Navi, Ido, go tell him that he can burn all the kings and all the people of Avodah Zarah. And tell him that while he was doing Avodah Zarah, he wants to do some sacrifices for Avodah Zarah, the altar will break and everything will fall down. Says Navi, that the Navi Ido goes over there, and Yerovam gives a speech, and he stands over there next to the altar, and he's ready to slaughter an animal for Avodah Zarah. Ido says, hey, hold it, I got a message from God. You and your descendants and all the people here, they're going to burn them, they're going to take them out of the grave. And I'm telling you in 1 second, you don't believe me? You see the altar will have a split, and the things will fall out of the altar, and the thing happened. It says Navi that Yerovam raised his hand, and he said, catch the guy. And his hand became paralyzed in the air. Couldn't move it. And he realized something. I said, So what did you realize? He realized the reason why you could able to move your hand, because Hashem is in your hand. If Hashem is not inside your hand, you won't be able to move your hand. Says people can't walk anymore. What happened? Knee replacement. Everything is replacement. What happened? Hashem came out of that particular part of your body because you weren't careful of one simple mitzvah. That's the problem in life. It's not doctor. It's first you do teshuvah. What did I do? That I don't feel so well, and I don't hear so well, and I don't see so well until do teshuvah because something happened, maybe in the last life, maybe not in this life, that Hashem vaporized out of that part of your body. That's the secret of all. Comes the Gemara. I won't tell you something, says the Gemara. You love meat, huh? Says the Gemara, meat in Hebrew is called basar. Says the Gemara, basar is an abbreviation of 3 words. The bet, the B, it's called busha, shame. The sin, the shin, is sheol, gehenom. The reish is rima, worms that eat the body. You have to be embarrassed to say the word basar. I want more meat. Can I have another steak? Can I have another portion, please? And a few more hamburgers. When I was in yeshiva, the mashgiach said, he told us, you want to know what's America? Never heard about America in yeshiva. He said, let me tell you what America is all about. I don't know how the mashgiach knows. So in America, they have something called Burger King. He said, Burger King, big burger. Hamburgers. I said, I'll tell you what it is in America. It says they have a lot of People go to lunch all the time over there, and dinners. Business people, they go and they order hamburgers. And there are 10 people, and they order hamburgers. So the waiter brought them 11 instead of 10. So each one, like we said in America, grabbed one hamburger and swallowed it. There's one in the table in the center, that left over. Mishgiach said like this, look what America is all about. Everybody says to his colleague, "Bechavod, thank you." I mean, no. You want it? No. You want it? Everybody has manners. I don't want it. I'm full. I had enough, 1 hamburger and 5 pounds of rice and 2 bottles of Coca-Cola. I'm okay. The blackout. Blackout, you hear somebody screams. The light is on. You see 1 hand and 9 forks inside. One tried to grab it with his hand, and the other 9 tried to grab it with a fork. This is meat. This is basar. Says Ari, you should know all the desires that the person has comes from our grandmother Chava. The Torah tells us, you know why she ate from the tree? Because she had desire for food. Obesity, obesity, obesity. What is the problem? You got it from great-grandmother Chava. Basar is red from the mother. From the mother you get all these desires to have food. From the father, your brain is white. Constantly a fight between the red and the white. All the time in your life. The heart, the liver, they only want to have good time. Vacation, golf, internet, desires. That's from the mother's side. The father is the white, the brain. You can replace the brain. You can replace the heart, replace lungs, kidneys, everything you can buy. You can't replace the brain. It says because the body of the person really is bones from the father. Brain runs the whole system. But you have to be careful not to fall in the trap in the red. That's the whole secret. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Torah, look. Hashem tells you, listen. Here comes the Torah and says, let me tell you. You're at Har Sinai, you're learning Torah. Moshe tells you every day halachot. What do you think you need halachot for? Halachot is for you to keep Hashem inside you. Because every halacha is something for the part of the body. Moshe said, we're moving. Everyone said, let's run before Moshe will give us more halachot. I said, you don't understand. It's not more halachot or less halachot. It means more life or less life. The less mitzvot you keep, Chas Shalom, Hashem vaporizes out. So you know what? Okay, the running. Says Hashem, listen, I want to put a paragraph 9 between the next one to tell you, listen, look what's going to happen in 1 second. You don't want to learn Torah, huh? Or even so Aaron, better learn Torah. You know what's going to happen in 1 minute? They want to have meat. Meat? Yeah. What's the problem? What's the color of the meat? Red. Uh-huh. What do you want to do? You want to go after your heart, after your desires. That's your problem in life. You know what's the problem in life? Soon Hashem will vaporize out of your system. That's the problem in life. Because your head doesn't function. You know what Hashem did? Hashem gave you white crystal man in the desert. Why? Hashem could have given you in the desert red man, green man, Benjamin Moore. Says Torah, listen, you don't understand. You want to have things to chase Hashem from inside you. because you want to have more meat. Be careful of the meat. Meat means embarrassment. Meat means it takes you down to Gehenom. Meat means worms in the grave. That's Sheol. Sheol means Gehenom. That's what the Torah tells us. That's no secret. How careful you have to be when you put something in your mouth. Moshe Tiken Hazan says that when you say Birkat Hamazon, that's my first paragraph Moshe made. You know what it says over there? That Hashem, He gives me food. What do you mean? Not Hashem, it's my wife, it's my mother. You don't understand. Why did I sit down to eat? Because Hashem wants me to have energy, to function. Not because I smell pizza, I have to have 2 pies, to eat 2 pies. Because when I go to the bakery, I smell cake, I have to, okay, let me go inside. Because that's where they put the fan. To draw people in, to go after the liver, to go after the meat, that's away from Hashem. You got to control. You don't control yourself, you're off. Look what happened. He tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe, forget about it. How come we can't get married to whatever we want? How come we have no meat? Moshe said to Hashem, listen, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you want to know something? Is this my fault? They talk like this? I am, like the shepherd, Moshe Rabbeinu. Where did they get this desire? It's for me, maybe for me. Am I the father? No. They don't work with the brain, they work with the stomach. Kill me! Because maybe it's my fault, that's what Moshe says. Maybe they act like this because it's me, therefore kill me. Not because I don't want to be the leader of Am Yisrael. Because I failed. I bankrupt. If they, after 1 year, 2 years, they took them out of Egypt, they said, we don't want man. Says the Gemara, man b'schut Moshe. Somebody asks you, what did Hashem give you in the desert? He says, man. What was the color of the man? Crystal, the Torah says. It's Ragar. Lavan, white. He said, why? Says the Gemara, b'schut Moshe. Because Moshe tzaddik ochel esova nafsho. Says the Gemara, when you sit down to eat, you just eat because you want to have enough energy to worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to function, to do the right things. But not because, I love very much hamburger, burger. It's a shame I can't have more hamburgers. A shame I cannot have more meat, more steak, more this, more that. It's the opposite of a shame. It's the Chazon Ish Abdi Avot HaTumah. Desire for food is the worst of the worst. Look what happened 1 second. They say, forget about Moshe. We must have meat, we must have meat. Where did you get this? Hashem tells Moshe, go tell them. You just got disgusted with Hashem inside. That's not true. I didn't think anything about Hashem. I just want a piece of meat. Listen, you don't understand. Hashem on purpose gave you man to have more white in the system. You want to have more red in the system. That's the problem. You have to know that Hashem will not stay inside you if you have more red things. Because you can have more and more desires. And look what's going to happen in a minute. Off. Next parasha, spies, they don't want to go to Israel. I say, what happened? Where is it? Where is your brain? Where is the brain where all these people, what happened to the people? We're not going to go to Israel, we want to go back to Egypt. We don't function because the heart is in control, the red in control, not the white. The person in his lifetime has to make sure that his brain works, not I feel like that. And you don't feel nothing. Common sense from your head, that has to run your life, not what you like to have. What you like to have is a trap. Says the Gemara, that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu put in this week's parasha, 3 sections. One, right when it came out of Har Sinai, and said we ran out of Har Sinai. It says you don't want more halachot, and you don't want more Hashem inside you. And then immediately after what happened, more meat, more red, is against Hashem. That's the Gemara says. The person has to pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not that the food should go through, that the Torah should go through. Moshe, we take out the Torah, and you say, you say, why are you saying these two sentences? He says, because that's what Hashem said. That you have to pray that Hashem should stay inside. Yafutzu ovecha. It says, Misanecha. And it says, all the things will go away from me. It's why? Because Hashem is inside you. If Hashem is inside you, nobody can kill you. If Hashem is inside you, nobody can hurt you. I said, you know what the problem is? Hashem vaporizes. Says the Gemara, a person that doesn't do the mitzvot, he doesn't look like a person, he looks like an animal. Hashem vaporizes out of the person. Gemara said, Hashem gives you cluster panim. You can see on the person. Says the Gemara, if the person is a person, or he looks like a dog or like a horse. Oh, it's cute. Cute dog. Cute horse. Cluster panim, says the Gemara, Hashem gives you eyes, you can detect. The Meshulach is for real and the Meshulach is a faker. The man is for real and the man is a liar. Should I do business with him or is not? Is dishonest? It says you can see on the face. Hashem gives it to a person, says the Gemara. By keeping the mitzvot, Hashem goes inside under the skin of the person. That's the purpose of the Torah. It's not we should do mitzvot. Hashem doesn't care less if we do mitzvot. Hashem wants the system to work. And therefore Hashem gave 10 things inside us to make sure that we have it. And then we can go the right way. I said the person has to have a responsibility. Say, Chachamim, you can't do what you want. So Nachman Breslev said, I'm afraid even to scratch myself. I don't know if I should use the energy of Hashem that I have inside my hand to do even scratching. Maybe Hashem does not want me to scratch. Forget about scratching. Who knows what else you do with your hands? Who knows what you do with your eyes? Who knows what you do with your tongue? With your hands, with your feet? You use Hashem's energy just to do things against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's the worst thing in the world. That's the ancient tell HaKadosh Baruch Hu, look, Melech Achum Bechanun. Mikel Kamocha Nosei Avon Baver Al Pesha. We have to learn from HaKadosh Baruch Hu how humble we have to be and to pray. We should use our body the right way. Amen.